everyone! First of all, a massive thank you to those of you who've seen my Simpsons Game review. In terms of instant response, it's unsurprisingly the most successful video I've had this year. But since it's a video that's so big, there are inevitably going to be some mistakes and oversights, so I figured I'd address them here.
I'm listening.
Some of these are just my being generally nitpicky, while some of them are genuine corrections. Ready, set, go!
We're number one! We're number one!
Firstly, I want to talk about the multiplayer feature. Early in the video, I mentioned that you cannot walk around a Simpsons house in 2-player mode in the PS3 version. And while this is true for most of the game, it turns out there is a loophole. When you make it to the third act of the game set in the game engine, you can return to the Simpsons house. As you can see, all of the doors are boarded up due to the alien invasion outside. So although it's not possible to walk around Springfield at this stage, you can indeed walk around a Simpsons house with 2 players. Thank you to Lena Hooley for pointing this out, and I sincerely apologise if I've absolutely butchered your name.
We're number 2! We're number 2!
This one isn't a mistake concerning the game itself, but I wanted to address it anyway because it bothers me. When discussing the level Bartman Begins, I mentioned that Bart manages to trap Dolph under a plesiosaur skeleton, although this is clearly not a plesiosaur. I think it's actually a plesiosaur, but I'm not sure and don't particularly care. In retrospect, I should have just said it's a skeleton, but never mind. I noticed this before the premiere, but this video went through so many revisions that it just didn't feel like a necessary amendment to make.
My favorite is number 3.
During the level Invasion of the Yokel Snatchers, I state that the developers missed a trick by not including a reference to Pong when Homer and Bart board the alien ship. And, well, they do, on this massive screen right here. Seriously, I genuinely don't know how I missed this. Sorry guys.
For shame.
Victim number 4.
When the characters receive their upgrades from Professor Frink, it's stated in the PS2 game that Marge's mob can now perform ranged attacks. And I added a note to the video stating that in the PS3 game, the mob can already throw items. This is technically true, but I feel I should have added more detail here. Marge's mob can indeed throw rocks, but only when she's in her invulnerable cop form. This isn't really a correction, I just feel like I should have been more specific.
Hello, number 5.
A few of you have pointed out that the overhead POV section of NeverQuest is based on the retro video game Gauntlet, and after looking into this, I can confirm that it is. Not only does it look very similar, but they also parody several of the voiceover lines used in that game.
Save keys to open doors.
Save keys to open doors.
Looking at it, I also think Ghost Otto is inspired by the ghosts in this game, as they spawn from piles of bones in exactly the same way. There are also jugs of mead that look very similar to the ones Homer consumes in this level. And having seen this, I actually wonder whether Homer's NeverQuest costume was supposed to be inspired by the elf in this game, rather than Link from The Legend of Zelda.
In your face, number 6.
A couple of you have mentioned that the final sequence of NeverQuest is not based on Balloon Fight as I claimed, but on the arcade game Joust. And again, I agree with this. The layout looks to be pretty much directly adapted. A part of me wants to say it may still derive some inspiration from Balloon Fight, but that's purely because of Helium Homer. Otherwise, it does indeed look to be inspired by Joust. I guess it kinda makes more sense too, as you control knights in this game, which sort of fits with the oldie-worldy Middle-earthy vibes of NeverQuest. Thanks to Player 42 and Devon White for addressing this.
7. Lucky 7.
Now, this is another piece of information that I wound up cutting from the review because it's really not very interesting, but after watching the video again at the premiere, I feel the need to address it. During the Grand Theft Scratchy level on the PS2 game, I mentioned that the road takes a while to rotate before it locks in place to form the bridge. Although one thing I didn't mention is that you can actually rotate it yourself. I don't really know why you need to do this though. It's not clear that it needs to be rotated at all.
Number 8.
And finally, this one is very nitpicky. When discussing the PS2 copy of 5 Characters in Search of an Author, I state that it's a requirement that you defeat all of the Benders and Zoidbergs. This is not strictly true. It's an oversimplification. You do indeed have to defeat several waves of them, but the final Bender doesn't need to be beaten. As soon as the Bender is spawned, you can simply defeat Matt Groening and the level concludes. And that's everything I felt the need to address. If anything else springs to mind, I'll add some notes to the video, or if I have time, I'll make some shorts. Either way, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Meh.
I'm gonna go work on something that's not Simpsons related now. I'm sick of seeing yellow. Bye-bye for now.